This is the most valuable art theft in history. $500 million gone in 81 minutes. 13 masterpieces, including the only seascape Rembrandt ever painted and one of just a few dozen Vermeers on Earth. The thieves dressed as police, tied up the guards and walked out the front door. 35 years later, not a single piece has been found, no one has been charged, and the empty frames still hang on the walls. This is the Gardner heist. So, how do you steal $500 million in art and simply vanish? It began just after 1 a.m. on the 18th of March 1990, the night after St. Patrick's Day in Boston. 2 men in police uniforms pulled up outside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum and buzzed the intercom, saying they were responding to a disturbance. A young guard, against the rules, let them in. The men told him he looked like someone they had a warrant for and asked him to step away from the only alarm button in the building. The moment he did, it was over. They cuffed both guards, walked them to the basement, and taped them to pipes. For the next 81 minutes, the thieves had the run of one of the greatest art collections in America. And here is the first strange thing. They were clearly not art experts. They walked past the single most valuable painting in the entire museum, a Titian, and never even entered its room. Instead, in the Dutch room, they went for the Rembrandts. They took his only seascape, the storm on the Sea of Galilee, and they did something that makes conservators wince to this day. They cut the canvases out of their frames with a blade, damaging paintings worth tens of millions of dollars, as if they were in a hurry and didn't care. The final haul was 13 objects, and the list is genuinely bizarre. There was Vermeer's The Concert, possibly the most valuable stolen painting on the planet, since only about 34 Vermeers are known to exist at all. There was the Rembrandt Seascape, a Manet, 5 works by Degas. But there was also a small Chinese bronze beaker, and, strangest of all, the bronze eagle that sat on top of a Napoleonic flagpole. They ignored masterpieces and grabbed a finial. To this day, no one is sure whether the list was a careful order or pure improvisation. So what is it all worth? When it happened, the estimate was around $200 million. By the year 2000, the FBI put it at $500 million, and today many experts think the true figure is over $1 billion. It is by value the largest art theft in human history and the largest property theft of any kind in the United States. To get it back, the museum now offers a $10 million reward, the biggest ever offered by a private institution. It has gone unclaimed for decades. Now, you might assume a case this famous was never cracked because nobody had any idea who did it. The opposite is true. On the 23rd anniversary in 2013, the FBI announced something stunning. They said they believed, with a high degree of confidence, that they knew who had carried out the robbery. And in 2026, the retired agent who led the investigation for 22 years published a book naming the men he believes did it, a loose crew of Boston criminals connected to a Dorchester repair shop. Here is the crucial part, and I need to be careful. No one has ever been charged with this theft. The men most often named are mostly dead, and those still living were never charged with the heist. These are theories, not verdicts. Which leads to the detail that has haunted investigators for 35 years. The museum's own motion detectors logged the thieves moving through the galleries that night. But in the Blue Room, where the Manet was taken, the sensors recorded no thief at all. The only footsteps they picked up in that room belonged to one of the guards. He always denied any involvement, was never charged, and died in 2024. What happened in that room has never been explained. And there is one more twist that changes everything. The statute of limitations on the theft itself ran out back in 1995. That means legally, no one can be prosecuted for stealing these paintings anymore. It is why the museum can promise that if you simply return the art with no questions asked, you can walk away with $10 million and no charges. The door is wide open, and still, nothing comes back. So the frames stay empty, and that is not an accident either. When Isabella Stewart Gardner died, she left her museum with an unusual rule. Nothing in the collection may ever be moved or rearranged. So when the paintings were stolen, the museum could not simply fill the gaps. The law of her will meant the empty frames had to stay exactly where the masterpieces once hung. Walk into the Dutch room today and you will see them, hollow rectangles on the wall, waiting. That is the strange power of this story. It is not really about a robbery. It is about absence made permanent. A Vermeer that millions will never see. A Rembrandt seascape that may be rolled up in an attic or already destroyed. And a set of empty frames that the museum refuses to take down, because taking them down would mean giving up. So here is my question for you. After 35 years, do you think these paintings are still out there, waiting to be found, or are they gone for good? Tell me in the comments. If you want another masterpiece worth a fortune with a stranger story than its price, watch our video on the Salvator Mundi next. And if you like art history with the real mystery left in, subscribe. We do this a few times a week. Until next time.